right. I have been tasked with the duty, obviously, as the founder of Digimonks and Ready Made Genius Mastermind. I guess I've tasked myself with the duty of telling you the who am I, what is Digimonks Ready Made Genius, how can you use this platform, and why did I create it? Maybe not in that order, but let's begin with the who. My real name is Brian Ramos. I live in Miami, Florida with my wife and two children. I'm originally from Puerto Rico, beautiful island where studies have shown the happiest people on the planet lived. And so I was very fortunate to live in a sunny island with beaches, very tropical, amazing people, just a really very privileged. It's not that I was maybe privileged from the monetary standpoint, but I was privileged from where I grew up. And my parents were not perfect. They made many mistakes. And in the process of giving me the freedom that they did, they kind of left me to my own doing. And this didn't really give me any structure. I didn't have that much discipline. I was a very creative person, but I struggled with attention deficit because I did get exposure to technology, even though it doesn't exist. It didn't exist at that time as it does today. But I also struggle with dyslexia. I didn't like reading for obvious reasons, and I didn't do well on standardized tests. And so the question then begs, a lot of people ask me this, how did I have gotten to where I did if I had all of these struggles? I lost my dad at a young age as well and was thrust into the adult world and into a new culture when I went to Yale School of Medicine for my PhD in neuroscience. Um, I now had to deal with a new climate, new culture, new climate. It was just very overwhelming. And I had just lost my dad. My family was in disarray, and I was still a child in the midst of an adult world that I didn't understand. Obviously, I made a lot of mistakes. I know what it's like to struggle and to go really from almost nothing to really get into a point where I am now. And I wish everybody could have that. I wish everybody could go on the journey of mental health to develop mental power. And I've created what is known as the Digital Guru, the Digital Ashram, both of which are the teacher and the home of Digimonks. And Ready Made Genius is one of those first offerings. It's a mastermind where I want to be able to do what are the core foundations of Digimonks, which is to love, serve, give, to provide inspiration and guidance in a time where people need it the most. People are tired of believing. They want to be inspired and they want to, more importantly, know with every fiber of their being that what they are learning is the truth. There's so much misinformation in this world, and I want to be able to provide some of that clarity, to be able to curate things for the audience, for whoever's following and who's a member. Um, After getting my PhD in neuroscience, I went on this journey of self-discovery, of self-realization, mainly through tools that I'll be teaching you in the Voyage from Human to God module. This is a scientific method that you can follow. It's like a recipe that you can follow, and we can both come to equal understanding that there is something that unites us both. But before we can get there, we must heal. And I want people to be able to discover what their purpose is, their passion. Because as you see, Ready Made Genius says, unlock your inner genius. And it's one of the things is that I noticed at a young age that everybody was a genius, but it wasn't fully expressing. And so I wanted to create a system that allowed people to express their inner genius, their inner light. But I noticed that the first thing that they needed to do was to heal, to overcome some of the difficulties, whether it's mental, physical, or spiritual, that they were going through. And I wanted to be able to show them how they could heal, maybe through my own lending hand, but also through their own how doing, so that they could discover that they had the power within themselves to heal themselves. Then I wanted to empower them, to give them structure, the things that weren't given to me. And so, in some ways, it's like when I'm with my kids, and sometimes I'll think in my head, man, I wish I had a parent like myself. It's almost like a humble brag, but it's in the sense of really wishing that I had somebody in my life that cared as much about me than I do for other people, for my children, for my loved ones, and for anybody who's on the other side of the screen. And so those that have gotten to know me know who I am and what I stand for. And as we move into the digital age, there are a number of problems. I have seen the rise of attention deficit, social disorders like autism spectrum. There's a lot of neurodevelopmental problems that I'm seeing. And I wanted to use technology in a different way, not to steal people's attention and energy, but to give it back to them. And thus, that gave rise to Ready Made Genius, which was really an inspiration from being in the car one day where I picked up my daughter from dance class, which she never liked. She always complained about it. She seemed to like the arts, but not theater, dance. She wanted to be in theater. She wanted to sing. And so she was in the car and I put this favorite song of hers and she started to sing. And as I stopped at a light and I looked at her as she was singing, I realized, oh, it's like, kind of like hit me. It was like an aha moment where Ready Made Genius was born because I realized that her genius was right in front of me, but that I, as a parent, wasn't doing the job to put her in a position where she could thrive so that her genius could be expressed. So I feverishly got home and I told my wife about this idea and I said, what do you think about Ready Made Genius? She's like, oh, I like that. That's a cool name. It's catchy. And so I ended up like just kind of putting it in the background, continuing to work. I founded Digimonks, which is an NFT project, which if you don't have an NFT, if they're still available at the time you watch this recording, if you get one, it can unlock lifetime membership along with a number of other perks. So this mastermind is just the beginning. I intend to progressively convert everything that I'm going to release in this mastermind to younger and younger ages because I've already tested it at an adolescent age and it's still a little bit too advanced. This is more for like an adult. And I want to bring it down a step down to a level where an adolescent can benefit and then bring it down where a child can benefit. And so I have experience in teaching these principles to younger kids and I want to convert it that way. So if you're a member of Digimonks or this mastermind, you'll get an opportunity if you have children to be able to get into Digimonks Kids. And when that release, we'll learn about it. We're also working on an AI Guru, an app that you'll be able to have access to, and I'll release details on how that's going to work in the future. But it's imagine that you call to me, and when you call to me, hey Bebe, I appear and I can answer your questions, almost like a personalized AI-powered guru, coach, counselor, mentor, maybe even a form of therapist of sorts. So that's also coming in the pipeline. This platform right now is designed to help you really start to level your life up in a variety of different ways. My turning stress into flow will have additional things added, but right now it's really, really good. It's like a flagship module where you're going to learn a number of ways in which chemistry and the flow state have relationship with each other and how you can turn stress into flow to experience more of a flow state rather than what you feel is uncontrollable stress. Harmonizing the nervous system is another flagship one where I'm going to teach you some principles on how you expend way too much energy on one part of your nervous system and not the other. So when the end of the day comes, you're having a hard time really relaxing, falling asleep, your mind is all over the place, you're restless, you start struggling with insomnia, and this leads to other problems. We're going to learn also how those problems of overactivity shorten your lifespan and how you can harness your brain waves to develop what I call the Buddha brain or a monk's brain power. I have my quantum model to mental health and much, much more. Dig deep, start learning. A lot of stuff is going to keep coming out. This is why you want to have the lifetime membership because this is really almost like a way of living. I want lifelong learners that would want to be a part of this journey, that want to invest in themselves like I did when I was younger, and I will be there for you. You can go on the Hey Bebe chat and drop me any question. There will be weekly coaching programs where you'll be able to go in and see me live and ask me questions. You can ask me the questions ahead of time, and if you're not going to be there, and I can answer them, and then you can watch the recording. There'll be a specific module, or in the classroom, where you'll be able to watch all of the recordings. There's just so much in store: weekly newsletters, live events. Lifetime members slash NFT holders will be able to get priority access to any in real life, in person events, get discounts on those events, as well as future merch line that we're going to be releasing. That's going to be really cool. So there's a lot of things in store. How would I use this platform? I would start with one. Listen to the master classes. Take notes. Be a student. Ask me questions when you watch them. Hey, you mentioned this. I feel like this wasn't clear. Can you elaborate? I can do another class and elaborate on that topic. I want it to be more interactive than any coaching platform out there. And that's why I released my first book after releasing The Art of Stress-Free Living, which all people that are part of the mastermind can have access to. That book, I realized it was too static, and I wanted it to be more dynamic. I wanted what I was teaching to really evolve and change with the time. And I realized that there was already the technological tools to do this, not just AI, but blockchain, NFTs, crypto, etc., decentralized autonomous organizations, DAOs. There was a lot of power that I could leverage with technology to help me do this. And so I started to shift everything. My DNA hacking series, which was a book called DNA Hacker Series Secrets, that one was never published because I said I put on the brakes and I started to shift it into a mastermind. Voyage from Human to God is the same thing. Actually, Voyage from Human to God is my first book, but it's never been published. So I want you to be very interactive. Take things slowly, step by step. There's no rush. Do a master class, ask questions, interact, level up, because if you don't level up, you won't have access to other courses. So make sure that you're interactive, you lend a helping hand, you ask questions, you do the classes. All of those things are going to help you to level up in the platform. And I would love for somebody to reach the highest level. Maybe there's a surprise in store for those who reach that highest level. So follow the DigiMonks motto, which is to love, serve, give. Love what you do, put love into your life, and make sure you don't steal from yourself every day by developing the right habits. Put value into your life every day. Every day, be different, grow, so that a year later you've made progress. And so the platform, you can take one module and keep doing it over and over until you've mastered it, and then move to the next one. Maybe somebody wants to go through all of them and then identify maybe some areas that you're struggling with. In addition, the platform in the future is going to have treatment manuals where I will go in and talk about adjunct approaches to mental health, to health, things that you can do that your doctor will never tell you. And then you can work with your physician to be able to have a routine that really works for you. Remember, be mindful. Never do anything hastily. Listen to your body, listen to your mind. Talk to your physician, those people that know your body the best. I'm giving you an overall vision and view, but it is up to you to apply it in the best way possible. And lastly, check out all of our sections, our pinned posts, so that you can understand kind of the rules, be respectful, be helpful, be kind, and more importantly, enjoy this mastermind. I would love to meet you in person one day and be able to do a one-to-one, which are becoming very popular. A lot of healing magic happens when I work one-to-one with people. This is not just in person, it could also be virtual. And so we can discuss potentially something like that as well in the future for those who are interested. I don't know if I covered the what, the who, the whatever, but I hope that makes sense. And remember, Everybody's a genius, and the goal of Ready Made Genius is to unlock your inner genius for you to discover your purpose, your passion, your drive, so that you can take your life where it deserves to be. I'll see you on the other side. Take care. Stay zen. Namaste.